Hey, Saray Rican, and today I'm gonna complain about the media. What's new? Um, I came across this. I was, looking at stuff like I always do, and saw that this morning, and it just, it's like, yes, I follow being liberal because you should follow both sides, just so you can see some of these stupid comments. John Oliver torches his AT&T bosses over OAN reveal. You make the world worse. No, John Oliver, you make the world worse. And you're going to see it here. I'm not going to play this video here either. Here is Don Lemon talking to Oliver Darcy, and they're both complaining about AT&T having helped start OAN because AT&T wanted to compete with Fox News. Now, here's the whole thing. AT&T, they own CNN and they own OAN. You know, it's only you see these left-wing news sources like quotation, like CNN. CNN's always complaining about, OAN, Newsmax, Fox News. They can't handle the competition. They're pissed, they're always calling for the cancellation of Fox News and now OAN and Newsmax. They're constantly, because they're like, oh, this is the whole thing. This is the funny thing. They hated when Trump called them fake news. So since they can't call OAN and Newsmax and Fox News, they can't call them fake news because since that term was hijacked by Trump, now they keep saying misinformation and disinformation. It's just information. It's information you disagree with. It doesn't necessarily have to be disinformation. You guys have a difference in opinion. There's all this COVID stuff. There's doctors who disagree, but the mainstream like CNN, don't even Fox News doesn't allow the some of these alternative viewpoints to be heard. And I'm careful about the way I'm saying it because I'm on YouTube. I'm putting this on YouTube. So I have to be careful because YouTube may go, oh, well, I'm disseminating disinformation by just telling you that, by just saying that there's doctors out there that disagree with the mainstream, but you're not allowed to talk about that. But that's what you have here. Let's go into a little bit into the story here. It goes, on Sunday night, John Oliver used his Emmy-winning HBO series Last Week Tonight to take shots at his corporate overlord, AT&T. According to an in-depth Reuters investigation this past week, the disinformation station, which is kind of funny because CNN with the whole thing with the Russia collusion hoax, what's some of the other stories, the hydrochloroquine stuff where it's like they pushed was it, I mean, CNN has been they've also been there. I mean, you could go as far back as, the entire media was when it came to Iraq war and the weapons of mass destruction and how they were all involved in that, because mainstream news, left and right, like Fox News, CNN, they all like war. So if it's a war story, it's going to get covered in a positive way for the most part. The reason why, like CNN and stuff, and all these left-wing news sources, why they crapped on Biden about leaving and the way he left was because the fact that they like war and we're leaving a country and they don't like it. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going. Turns out AT&T has been up to some, and it's worth noting AT&T still technically are business daddy, making OAN our business step sibling, and not in a hot way. OAN founder and the only one that it goes here. OAN founder and chief executive Robert Herring Sr. has testified that the inspiration to launch OAN in 2013 came from AT&T executives. They told us they wanted a conservative network, Herring said during a 2019 deposition seen by Reuters. They only had one, which was Fox News, and they had 7 others on the other side, obviously the left wing side. When they said that, I jumped to it and built one. With that help, OAN has grown into the toxic network that it is today, one that's happy to give a platform to batshit election fraud theories from America's most out of breath pillow. Okay, I can't read that stuff. Look, it's a competitor. And, you know, why did they want to build it? Because there's only Fox News. That's it. Look, you know, here is what they're trying to kill OAN and AT&T here, killing AT&T for trying to create another conservative to create a competitive conservative network. There we go. And this is what they're bitching about. This is what they're up in arms about. They don't, here it says in here, they only had one, which was Fox News, and they had 7 others on the other left-wing side. One Fox News to 7 other news outlets. That's, that should tell you right there. Why are you guys complaining? You guys have 7 other news networks. You guys think that this makes it a worse network because you don't agree with what's on it? Dude, pay attention to what you guys have on your network. You guys, like, especially like CNN, which annoys me because CNN used to be center. They used to be center. They got rid of all their left, all their right leaning people left. They're really the only people I can remember is Glenn Beck and Lou Dobbs. People that were on CNN that left because CNN didn't want them anymore. I remember something happened with Lou Dobbs. There was some controversy, but he went to Fox. So that was the last time they had anyone right wing on their network, and that's the problem. The problem is we don't have both sides of the issue at all. All you get is CNN, MSNBC, NBC, MSNBC, AB, all of those networks, they're left-leaning sources. They're left-wing news. And they want to be the monopoly of information when all you have now, we at best have 3 conservative right-leaning networks, Fox, OAN, and Newsmax. That's it. There's still every other news outlet is left-wing. Same thing comes. That's why they get pissed off. This whole thing with the Facebook whistleblower, it's bullshit. Basically, what they're mad at is that let's say Dan Bongino and the Daily Wire are usually stuff that people are sharing a lot. Yes, because conservatives, where else do we get our news from? There's not much competition out there because everything is left wing. So if you conservative libertarians, we need to go to that. And we go to both sides. People who lean right, we go CNN, we go to Fox News. We don't just go to NBC, MSNBC. We go to both sides. But if these people like John Oliver, like Don Lemon, Oliver Darcy, if they had their way, we wouldn't be able to get this information from anywhere. They want an echo chamber for everyone. They want everyone in their echo chamber. They think that they don't tell lies. You know, like I said, like Russia collusion, or they would talk about, you know, Trump had 2 scoops of ice cream. You know, they talk about OAN being a Trump sycophant network. Well, guess what? You guys were obsessed with Trump too. Like I said, you know, oh, well, Trump only eats McDonald's and drinks Diet Coke. That's why he's obese. And it's like, where's this coverage of Trump? I mean, where's their equally antagonistic coverage of Biden? They have plenty of fuel to do it. They don't touch it. So stories like this guy with John Oliver, stuff with, like I said, here with Don Lemon complaining about it. You know, it's a head scratcher to me, because it's like, hey, don't you guys see? You guys already have all these networks. Look, you don't have to agree with them. And you're talking about that you need to debunk. You don't need to debunk anything. I mean, let me just, I'll just play a little clip.
Irreparable damage to our democracy. The press should inform the American public with facts, not far-right propaganda and conspiracy theories. That's according, Don, to Derek Johnson, the president of the NAACP, who added that he is, quote, sickened by these revelations.
Do they name names? When you said executives, do they name names of the executives in this report or no?
Well, it does go. I mean, there are thousands of court pages, frankly, Don. Yeah. So there are a lot of details regarding this. But
anyways, so look, they don't want competition. That's the end of. They cannot win with actually informed people. They want people. They're lazy. They have one, that's why they'll go, instead of supporting their ideas, you'll have them attacking Fox News, now attacking One America News, because the fact that they can't win on their merits. They have to attack conservative and liberal ideas. Promote your stuff. Stop trying to, debunk. Stop trying to use Facebook to censor conservative posts. It's not misinformation. Well, I'm not going to say that. There's some cases where I'm not going to say that there isn't. But for the most part, it's a difference in opinion. That's why I always tell people, read the Fox News story, read the CNN story. The stuff that they agree on, that's the actual news. The stuff where they'll disagree, that's the opinion. When they'll say, well, the jobs report says that we had, we only created 40,000 jobs when we were expected to create 1 million jobs. But, then when you have experts say that, but the economy is still strong, and that's the left wing source right now. And they'll be like, and then the right wing, they'll be like, an economist said we might be heading to a downturn. Well, that's the difference in opinion. They're both, they're both talking about what's in the news. They're just sharing their opinion. And, CNN is just as guilty as Fox News. So that's where we're at. That's why, some people have talked about it before, and other people have talked about civil war or peaceful divorce, because we can't even look. Like I said, the facts are there. We disagree on opinion, but you make it seem like we're disagreeing on the news, when we're just disagreeing on our opinion of the news. But you want to make it seem like your opinion is the news. People like Don Lemon, Oliver Darcy, Brian Stelter, and people like that. You want to make it seem like, their opinion is the only one that's right. They're the ones that only correct, that they never give out misinformation. I mean, look at New York Times. I think I talked about this also, where they published an article saying 800,000 kids have been affected, been hospitalized or affected, something like that. where the number was actually like 83 or 93,000, 93,000. They said it was 800,000. So, and then instead of just deleting the article, rewriting it, they put like a little blip correction. But the damage was already done. People have already read the misinformation you gave. But you guys on the left act like you guys don't peddle in misinformation or disinformation. What, like I said, what New York Times did there is fear porn. Fear sells. And so that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And I mean, there's no solutions. I mean, if solutions were there, we'd be there already, but there's no real solution to it other than if you're someone on the right, you want to wake up your friends on the left, talk to them. Show them simple stuff. Be like, show them how it's just a difference in opinion. There's no fact there. Here's the fact. Like I said, like I told you, like I said about the job numbers, use that as an example. Like I said, you could use the gas prices, use that as an example, where presidents don't make gas prices. Their policies affect the gas prices. They may not make the gas prices, but their policies do affect it. More pro-energy policies will keep prices down, where trying to force feed renewables and all that stuff is making the prices go up. So now I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you guys enjoy my video. I'm Novay Rican. Follow me on YouTube and Rumble. You can interact with me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Gab, Telegram. And with that being said, have a good one.